Well, I'll see if I can edit these two segments together. Otherwise, this is going to be Yamabits 2A or 2 Bravo, because I tried to restart the video I did and the phone jumped on me. Anyway, one of the hazards of restoring an older motorcycle, and unfortunately, it is sad to say that Yamaha now considers any bike much older than 2007, so about, well, to be fair, that is still about 13 years. Any bike older than about 12 to 13 years now is considered an obsolete motorcycle. So unfortunately, my 2001 YZ125 falls into that category. And what I'm getting at is this part right here and its mate down here in the sink. Whoops, I just dropped into the water again. These two parts are on the swing arm. They actually fit inside the swing arm. They're little spacers or shims, if you will. If I recall correctly, they go in the back part of the swing arm where the wheel and chain adjusters slide. These are unobtainium. You cannot get these anymore. They're completely obsolete. They're not available aftermarket, and they're no longer available through Yamaha. So you have to be careful of certain parts. The chain adjusters themselves here, Works Connection and a couple other companies used to make aftermarket chain adjusters. Well, those are unobtainium now. You can't get them. So you have to be careful when you're delving into a project like this where you're restoring an older motorcycle. Thankfully, we have eBay and we have other sources like eBay where you can generally find some of this stuff. Some of the stuff that becomes obsolete can generally be found in used condition, or sometimes you don't find the individual parts, but you find somebody else who has. For example, in my case, I think the biggest headache is going to be rebuilding the engine. I may end up with some parts that are going to have to be obtained. Otherwise, as you can see, I do have my pump cover down there with the 4JY prefix. Zoom in on that for you. In Yamaha, the first three letters, for example, in this case 4JY, is a model year prefix. It's not a 100% foolproof method to tell what year a bike or what year a motor is, because you can have replacement motors. Like mine, it has a completely different serial number than what the bike originally had. And certain parts on the engine have stayed the same over a series of model years. So the fact that this is a 4JY pump cover does not mean that I have the 4JY model year engine, which, if I remember right, should be about a 1998 or thereabouts. But certain parts don't really evolve, and so that's why you'll see the similar part numbers. Anyway, as you can see, the water is pretty nasty in that sink now from all this stuff. Another asset to have: old toothbrush. Use that for scrubbing while you're cleaning the parts up. Again, my purpose here, and if you look at the chain guides, they're a lot cleaner than they were when I showed you the first half of the video. You can still see there's grunge and schmutz in them. This is not intended to be the detail cleaning. This is simply a cleaning to look at the parts, get them clean enough to handle, so I can start dry assembling certain parts of the motorcycle and see what I may or may not be missing. So anyway, I'm going to stop with this because this is going to get too long and too boring if I keep going. But anyway, so that's Yamabits 2B, or not to be. And you can see that I'm making some headway on getting stuff cleaned up. Stay tuned. I will continue this series. The next thing you're going to see is I will start putting together different sub-assemblies of the motorcycle after they're cleaned. And as I do that, I will go ahead and make longer videos where I mount the camera on that magic arm I bought, so I can just simply work and you can observe what's going on. So if you want to learn how to rebuild a YZ, or pretty much almost any Japanese dirt bike from the ground up, they're all kind of similar in some of their build attributes. Stay tuned for this series and you'll get to see how to get this stuff all together. And hopefully by come springtime we will have an assembled motorcycle that I will be riding and demonstrating for y'all. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the continuation of the Yamabits saga.